Shots fired as people scramble from one of the country's busiest airports this morning. We've learned a TSA agent is dead and at least 7 other people were injured.
It all happened this morning at the Los Angeles International Airport, the airport many call LAX. Police say Paul Ciancia, 23 years old and from New Jersey, fired several shots inside Terminal 3 before police shot him. It started just after 9 o'clock Pacific time when investigators say he pulled an assault rifle out of his bag and shot a TSA agent. Police say he then walked through the security checkpoint down a long corridor and fired a few more shots before police shot him not far from Terminal 3's gates. No word yet on a motive.
We just heard like 8 shots just ring out, bang, 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 and we all hit the deck, and for about, I don't know, 15 seconds we were all down, and then all of a sudden everybody just started running through TSA down into the gates, the terminal there.
As for the other victims, so far police have not released their names nor conditions, although there are reports at least one person is in critical condition. Again, recapping what we know so far. Shooting suspect identified as Paul Ciancia, 23 years old. We know he was shot by police, and there are reports he's the one in critical condition. Right now, the airport is still allowing some incoming flights, but not at the normal rate. As far as what's happening in Washington, the White House says it's monitoring this situation closely, and President Obama has been briefed. We will continue to follow this story throughout the evening with updates online at myfox8.com and tonight on the Fox 8 10 o'clock news. Well, the other big story we're following this Friday evening, the rain. After a wet start to today, will the clouds hang around throughout the weekend?
Yeah, Chief Meteorologist Van Denton is watching the forecast closely for us. So, Van, we know the cooler weather is coming, but of course we've got a lot of events going on this weekend. Friday football tonight.
Starting tonight, yeah. Well, you can see from the views here of the skies, things have started clearing out here in the Triad. Starting to see more blue. Every now and then we get a bank of clouds rolling through here, and that will continue again for a little while to go. The rain is mostly moving into the eastern parts of the coverage area now. Seeing another little surge coming up from the south that may still clip the eastern counties for the next hour or so. So if you live in the eastern areas or even the south and you've got a high school football game, you still have a chance of seeing a little bit of rain. The west is looking real good for the evening, and trend will be for improvements in the east as well. And what's happening with this is we have a little wave of low pressure that has formed along that front, but we're really fortunate that it's already up here rather than down here, because what it's doing is the airflow around this is pulling some drier air in on the northwest side. That's why we're seeing that clearing work a little farther to the east. So that's in our favor. And as far as tomorrow's activities go, it's going to be a great day. Front number 2 will come through. If we get a shower from that, it will be very brief. And we'll have more on that and the cold air coming in behind it in just a few minutes.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is the sound of homecoming at North Carolina A&T State University. Of course, each year thousands of people return to Greensboro for the biggest homecoming event in the Piedmont. Not only does it bring in tons of alumni and their families, it's also bringing in tons of business to Greensboro. So Fox 8's Carter Coyle joins us now live from downtown. Carter, this is a huge deal.
Making friends in downtown Greensboro, but even for a Friday, it is busy downtown right now. You can see traffic kind of steady, a little bit backed up here on Elm Street. It's looked like this all afternoon. Hotels, bars, restaurants, all filling up for not just First Friday, but for homecoming weekend at A&T. Folks already heading out to kind of pre-celebrate homecoming weekend and before the big game tomorrow. Lots of Aggies walking by right now. And if you thought that rain earlier would stop Aggie pride or even slow it down, well, think again.
Crowds were already lining up on South Elm Street in Greensboro Friday afternoon, hoping to get a head start on homecoming fun.
It's fantastic. It brings a lot of revenue into the city, brings a lot of people. It seems to grow every year. And as you can see, even with the inclement weather, there's still plenty of people down here.
The rain might have driven folks inside, but a few puddles were not keeping the Aggies away from downtown.
We always have to really double or triple our liquor and wine and beer orders for this weekend. But that, again, it's a positive thing, because if you're tripling it, you have it to sell.
Autumn Hunt is a manager at Blue Martini downtown. She's also helping open a new Greensboro restaurant this weekend called Blue Margarita. and lots of people downtown mean lots of business here.
We normally don't even open during the day, and we're having a day party already. So, I mean, it brings a huge amount of money into the local economy for one weekend.
Mark Oglesby and his family didn't actually go to NCA&T, but these guys travel from Ohio every year to join in the fun.
We're Aggie for this weekend.
That's fine. Everybody's an Aggie. You can be an Aggie. Anybody who wants to claim Aggie Pride. Aggie Pride is nationwide, and we believe in it. We love it. It's where home is.
And that's why it's called the greatest homecoming on earth.
Should be a fun weekend, of course, with the parade tomorrow downtown. It might be best to just park away and then walk into the downtown area. And, you know, not to be the bearer of bad news, but we've also seen quite a few police officers patrolling. They say with crowds this large, they just want to make sure everyone is safe this weekend.
Aggie Pride.
Aggie Pride.
Yeah, we want to be Aggies too. All right, Carter.
Everybody's an Aggie.
All right, Carter, thank you. And hey, if you want to get out and catch some of A&T's homecoming action, they have plenty of activities going on.
This year's celebration will hold true to the years before, and they have both day and night events. Tonight, there's the Homecoming Step Show at the Greensboro Coliseum at 7:30. Big parade tomorrow morning at 8, starting on Murrow Boulevard. The game at 1 against Virginia University of Lynchburg. And homecoming activities will wrap up Sunday evening at 6 o'clock. This should be really good too. A gospel show featuring gospel superstar Kirk Franklin.
Very
Aggie
cool.
Pride.
Aggie Pride. All right, Carter mentioned this. With all of the A&T homecoming events comes a lot of traffic. So some of Greensboro's busiest areas, such as High Point Road and parts of the downtown area, are expected to be hit the worst. So to keep you and other drivers safe and sane, the city of Greensboro is offering a traffic hotline for the weekend. Starting today, the phone line will offer 24-hour traffic and safety updates. The phone number is 336-373-3836 or 336-373-event. You got all that? Of course, you can also call for detour information. Lots of those too.
All right, we're learning a lot more this evening about that latest case of animal hoarding in the Piedmont. This time in Rockingham County. We reported this at the top of our 10 o'clock newscast last night. We're talking dogs, cats, birds, horses, a donkey. Rescued from what Rockingham County Sheriff Sam Page called horrible conditions. Well, in our follow-up this evening, the Sheriff's Office has charged Diane Mabe with 1 count of cruelty to animals, and there could be more charges.
One of the dogs we had to shave because he was matted in his own feces. It looks like he has some kind of hip or his leg has been broken.
And it was just a very nasty situation, and we don't see this every day.
The Rockingham County Sheriff's Office says it received several calls from people complaining about possible animal hoarding at 750 Settlement Road in Stoneville. Yesterday, deputies moved in.
As they approached the residence, there was a strong odor and smell.
They rescued 29 dogs, 18 birds, 6 cats, 4 miniature horses, and a donkey in and outside of the house, living and sleeping in their own feces.
Nearly 30 dogs that were inside the house, some caged, some not. Feces all over the house, observations of some wiring and damage to the house where I had concerns about fire issues.
In their mind and heart, they're trying to do good and trying to, you know, they think they're doing good for the animals, but when the animals are living in filth, you know, you're not helping the animals.
They also found not just animals living in these conditions.
Our main concern last night was to check on the welfare and safety concern of Mr. May, who's a disabled veteran that has disabilities, living in the situation, and also our concern for the animals that were affected.
Well, the Sheriff's Department is still investigating possible elder abuse charges. As for the animals, they will be treated and hopefully adopted out. By the way, Diane Mabe, who's facing the animal cruelty charge, is Mr. Mabe's wife. New at 6 o'clock, City of Greensboro facing a multi-million-dollar lawsuit from the Black Television Network. The network suing the city for damages after the city agreed to loan the network $300,000 earlier this year, but then reversed its decision. City Council took back the loan after concerns the network's owners just didn't have enough collateral. Black Network TV planned to use the money to help with the production of a sitcom titled What Ya Cookin', which it planned to shoot in Greensboro. The network's owners plan to issue an official statement about the lawsuit Monday morning.
Well, starting today, families that depend on food stamps to help feed their families are coming up short. The federal government's temporary boost in the program ended today. Cuts for most families range from $11 to $36. Now here in North Carolina, that federal program spent $1.7 million feeding families in our state. Local food pantries say the cuts put more pressure on them to make up for this loss.
We knew it was coming, but we didn't know how fast until I woke up this morning and saw the news.
And as a result, food pantries across the Piedmont are asking for your help with extra donations. Well, today marks 1 month since the Affordable Care website went live. And while the website, or rather, while the White House says thousands of people are visiting the site, new numbers show us something a bit different. In fact, only 6 people were able to sign up for enrollment on that first day. 6 people. That's according to notes taken during a meeting with the group in charge of the rollout. Now, by the end of day 2, that number had only risen to just over 240 people. Official numbers for enrollment are expected before the month's end. The Obama administration estimates that it needs 39,000 people a day in order to reach its goal of 7 million people by March. Well, teachers across the Piedmont taking a stand for education. They're doing it against what they call a lack of support for educators in our state.
Now, there's a statewide teacher walkout plan for next Monday, but as Fox 8's Mitch Carr shows us, here in Guilford County, the school system hopes to get its message across in a different way.
Teachers in Guilford County have a list of grievances and they want to air them.
Teacher pay has gone down.
The pay has stayed the same but gone down relative to other states. Then there's the private school voucher issue.
Voucher system for education. You know, we've now taken, I think it's $10 million to put into vouchers for parents to take students out of public schools.
Teachers are also not happy about changes in class size standards, new standardized tests, and new accountability ratings. They'd like to strike, but they're not allowed to. So instead, teachers are inviting supporters to walk in. They hope those visiting will bring words and notes of encouragement.
We stand with you on this at least one day to say, we understand your job and we're here to support you.
It's called a walk-in, but just because it's called that doesn't mean that anyone in the community can just walk into any school. Guilford County Schools does have some rules about this demonstration.
Schools that are doing that will still follow their typical safety protocols. People will still be signing in the office. People will still have visitors badges. People will still be escorted around the school with someone.
What teachers really want is for lawmakers to walk in and see firsthand how their decisions affect schools. In Greensboro, Mitch Carr, Fox 8 News.
The walk-in demonstration is supposed to take place Monday. Principal King said it would be a good idea to check with the school you plan to visit beforehand to see how it is organizing things.
Well, after a little mix-up, you might notice something missing along the Greenway in Greensboro. That's because right now between Eugene and Spring Street, some might be wondering where the trees went. But don't worry, they're not going to be gone for long. New trees are being planted to replace the old ones. The wrong trees were just originally planted.
They weren't the right trees. Basically, they were impeding traffic. They were growing more out to the side rather than straight up, and so the contractor has replaced them for the correct variety that's a more upright tree. So it's a kink in the plan that got corrected, and they did that this week.
Well, the trees are part of the Greenway Stormwater Project. The tree wells are designed to improve the water quality in that area.
'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la.
All right, we all know that song. It's a holiday song that has one greeting card giant in the hot seat.
Why Hallmark's latest holiday lines not getting such a jolly reception.
Country girl, shake it for me, girl.
And country music's fans, get ready because Luke Bryan is headed to the Piedmont. He's bringing his That's My Kind of Night tour to Greensboro on February 13th, and tickets are on sale right now. You can buy them online at Ticketmaster.com or at the Coliseum box office.
Sweet little farmer's child, they got it in her blood to get a little wild. Ponytail